Tamara here,
and it's Jessica
from Sci for Us. Welcome to our STEM sessions, where we bring science to you at home.
We make science available and accessible for everyone. Our lessons are always so fun because every week we provide the children with new, exciting experiments for them to do at home. This way, they're able to learn and even open up their minds to the new ideas that they're being taught and introduced to.
Okay, what do we normally start off with?
60-second experiment.
So we're going to do two 60-second experiments today.
Okay.
The first one is with Play-Doh.
Right.
So we have our homemade Play-Doh. We have videos about how to make homemade Play-Doh. It's only 3 main ingredients, and then obviously our beloved food colouring to help it be green. What I'm going to do is we have some printed faces, and we're going to swap over, but at first I'm just going to give you, say, different emotions, and with the Play-Doh you have to try and make the emotions on the person's face.
Okay.
So if I say happy, how will you use the Play-Doh to make it look like the person here is happy?
Right, okay.
So the first emotion is sad. Okay, the other emotion I want you to try and do on this person's face, so you can leave that, is shocked.
Shocked, okay.
Yeah. So that is your sad and shocked. Okay. Could put that to one side. Now you give me 2 emotions that you want me to do. So we just have 2 other blank faces.
Okay, so I would like you to do an excited face.
Okay.
Excited face. Okay. And now I would like you to do a crying face. Okay, so this is your crying face.
That was all about emotions, and the fact that we could sometimes experience different emotions. So we did that to try and show how we express when we're feeling different. Emotions are all controlled in the brain. Our brain, like we did last week, is very complex, and we have different neurons and different connections in the brain. So our brain processes different emotions, and this is in the limbic system. And sometimes our feelings can really help us. So when we're frightened, our brain processes that we're frightened, and then we may get goosebumps or our hairs may stand, and this tells us that we're frightened, so our body goes into fight or flight. So we will then be prepared for something to happen, and that may be to flee, or that may have been to stand up for ourselves at that time. Sometimes we may feel happiness, and then that makes us excited and our heart pumps. And depending on what different circumstances we go through, we may feel different emotions at different times. But where we can is try to express these emotions and try and talk about the different emotions, because sometimes when we're going through things, it just doesn't feel nice, or sometimes we may wake up and just not feel that great, especially during this period. Sometimes I know we wake up and we just don't feel ourselves. We can't go out and play with our friends, we can't go out and do things that we're usually able to do. So when we're feeling like that, it's good to try and talk to someone and to try and get those emotions out and not keep them inside, because it's not good for us.
Yeah, also because you might not be the only one who's going through it. So it's good to talk and see that other people are going through it, and then you can discuss it and you can find ways together to try and overcome how you're feeling.
Definitely. You may see that all our experiments are going to be green this session, and this is because last week in May in the UK it was Mental Health Awareness Week. So the international colour for mental health is green. So normally you can find green ribbons, so there's a ribbon that's green, and that represents mental health. So we have decided to make all our experiments green, just to raise awareness. So that was the first part.
Yeah.
Now the second part, so this year the theme that the charity picked was kindness.
Okay.
So spreading kindness and making sure we're kind with what we do and making sure we're kind with the words that we use. So what I want to do now is, first of all, we just have some polystyrene cups and we have some nail remover, so some acetone. So what I want us to do is, on half the cups I want us to write things that encourage kindness. So it could be an act of kindness.
Okay.
Kindness has shown to reduce stress, so there's science behind it. When we're kind and we do acts of kindness, altruism, so doing things to benefit and help others, it actually can help people, especially if they're going through stress and if they're going through bad times. And then on the other half of the cups, I want us to just think of things that are not kind, things that, you know, sometimes we may do or we may say when we get angry, but it's just not the kindest thing that we should be doing. So my 3 acts of kindness, I said giving to those who may not have, sharing with my siblings, smiling where I can, and asking my friends how are they.
Okay. And my not kind ones are not helping with the tidy up time, being misbehaved all the time, and shouting at my siblings.
Okay. So first of all, you're going to put your cups into the solution and we are going to see what happens, okay? Okay. So, wow. Your first not kind act, so
In the
your second unkind act. Okay, and last but not least,
shouting at my siblings.
okay. Okay, so now what can you do? They like pull apart? Stringy, wow. It's kind of like slime.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the not kind things, where we can, we want to try and do less of it, make them disappear, and not be unkind. Solution. These are acts of kindness. So when I put my kind ones in, nothing happens. My cup's not dissolving. Maybe this one. Let me push down. Nope. Still full cups. Nope. No. So, with our kindness, they were resilient, they didn't dissolve, and where we can, we want to try and be as kind as possible. You see, sometimes it may be hard, some of the writing rubbed off, but the cup still stands strong. So where we can, we want to promote these behaviours. So those were our 2 experiments, our 2 quick 60-second experiments about emotions, about acts of kindness. Experiment number 1. So for this experiment, you just need flour, some rice or beans, and balloons, and then spoons, and we just have some nice stickers. So what we're going to try and make is like a stress ball. So yeah, this is really simple. Some people like to hold things in their hands, so there was like the fidget cubes and the spinny things, so these are just good to stretch. So all you have to do is spoon some flour into your balloons. But what can also be easy is, Jess, do you mind helping me and holding it open for me? Thank you. Tie a knot in the top. Put some stickers on there. I'm going to put a smiley face on mine. Nice stress.
Definitely gonna be easy.
Yeah. So this is a quick and easy stress reliever ball. Experiment number 2. So for this experiment, you just need water, 1 large jug or container or glass, 1 smaller glass, and then 4.
Yeah.
And then the food colorings you need are yellow and blue. But we just want to say that since the start, we haven't bought new food colorings. So once you get all the colors, you're able to do all these experiments. So pour some water, then just add a few drops of blue and then mix it.
So if you don't have a pipette, you can always just use a spoon.
Yeah, and mix it. So this one, I'm going to fill this up, and then yeah, if you could put yellow. Right, now what I want to do is, if you place this inside the big one, what we're going to do is pour this yellow into the bowl, but make sure none of the yellow goes into the blue.
So it has to go around.
It has to go around it. To see already that it's looking green, right? We have our 2 solutions, blue, and then when we start to lower it, you can see that it starts to look green. So it starts to look like we have a green solution. Blue and green, and that is because when we mix the 2 colours, blue
And yellow.
we get green.
Yeah.
So that's just a quick, easy
How to make green.
experiment number
3.
So with this experiment, we're going to try to make a crocodile, but the crocodile we're going to use levers, so we're going to be able to open and close its mouth.
Okay.
So inside, when we use the term lever, it means like a simple machine that has a hinge.
Okay.
So for this, you'll just need some green card. We got these little heads from Powerland, actually, little crocodile heads, but you can draw your own. This is just bonus. You could also draw your own eyes. We have some goggly eyes, but what you really need, the core things, are the paper, some rulers, pencil, and split pins. So this will really help our levers to move. So what we first want you to do is you need to draw a series of even shaped strips. Now, what we want you to do is draw, you need to draw 3 circles on each of them. So you want to draw 1 circle in the middle. Then I'm going to draw another circle that's 4 centimeters away, and another that's 4 centimeters away from the middle circle. So we want you to do that for all of your strips, your 6 strips. What we want you to do is, first of all, get 2 strips, and we want you to make an X, but this will help you. So if you have 1 dot in the middle, and you put the 2 middle dots together and make a cross, right? X. So now what we want you to do is get a split pin and push it through. So it should be going through the 2 middle ones. What we want you to do is get another strip, and on the 3rd hole, we want you to connect it with the 3rd hole at the bottom. So you should start to see that it's looking more like a zigzag pattern. Okay, then pierce a hole, and you're going to need another split pin there. You need to get another one and now put it across. So you want,
middle.
Yeah, so you want it to look like this, so a zigzag. So you get your other one, and then the top circle is going to go into the top circle of your first one, and then the middle should go into the middle one of your second one. Again, we're going to need you to put your split pin. You should still be able to see that it moves, see? getting closer. So now we're nearly there. You need to get your another set of strips, and we're going to do what we did again for the second step. So we're going to put the third one on the third one here, the only one. So then basically we're trying to get a zigzag pattern. So you still have your first two uncovered, should look like this. Trying to make a zigzag pattern. So we had our first two, then we added our third that way, then we added our fourth that way, then we added our fifth that way. So we're going to add our sixth that way. Okay? Yeah? So last but not least, we're going to put our sixth one here. Okay? Do the exact same process. If you find that your dots haven't lined up as well as you want them to be, you can always rub out your dots. We cut our faces in half so that we'd be able to close them out. So on your last pins, you can just put the head on. Then we're finished. Welcome to Cypher Baking. We think that baking is also a science, as we get to mix, make and break bonds. We get to do and explore different flavor combinations. We get to dissolve, so we're looking at solvents and solutes. So we love baking here. So we're going to also incorporate some math. So with the ingredients, we will let you work out what measurements you need. So we'll put it on the screen, some fractions for you guys to work out.
Okay, so in light of it being Mental Health Awareness Week, we've decided to do some baking because we know that will make you happy and we love when everyone's happy. So we're going to make matcha tea white chocolate cookies. Okay, and we're using matcha tea because it has the colour green, and we know that green is associated with Mental Health Awareness Week. So the ingredients that you'll need today are plain flour, brown sugar, caster sugar, butter, baking soda, vanilla extract, white chocolate. You can get it as a block or chips. You'll need the matcha green tea, which comes in a box like this, salt, eggs, and you can use some green food colouring if you would like to. Okay. So the first step is to weigh out the plain flour. Okay, cool. And then after, you're going to put it in this bowl. Okay. Then you'll need to pour in some baking soda as well.
So I'll just keep the sugars in the same bowl.
Yeah. Then
Butter.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix the butter and the sugar with the flour and the baking soda in a big bowl. Okay, then you could start. Then what you need to do, once that's all get mixed, the green tea bag, you're going to put that into a cup of hot water. So you'll need adult supervision to help you get the hot water. Then just soak it in to the hot water. Okay. Whilst that's being done, we can then crack an egg.
Oh, some salt?
You just pour some of that into here.
You add a bit more? Yes, it has the taste.
So you can either
get it as a tea bag, or you can get them as a powder form. So you can see if they have that in your local Tesco or Sainsbury's or whatever. Now what we can do is add some of our vanilla extract. Then we can add some of our white chocolate. We get the food colouring liquid or the gel, but I think we've seen that the gel is more effective when it comes to
more
baking.
pigmented.
Yeah.
Lovely and green.
Once that tray has been greased and you are happy with how green your mixture is looking, I would say,
Quite nice. It looks like peppermint.
yeah. Then you can start to so let me
Pea size, because they're gonna spread.
put this.
Yeah.
Okay, so once that's all been put on the tray, then you're going to now put this in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius.
For how long?
Can we check on it? Let's put it in for like 10 minutes and check on it and see.
So, we hope that you enjoyed all of our experiments this week, that we did all in the theme of green to help us remember last week, which was Mental Health Awareness Week. So, we just want to do a last experiment to leave you with. Sorry, could you? So, I want you to remember to always be kind. We hope you enjoyed. Remember to send in any of the experiments that you have done, and we hope to see you soon. Take care.